Welcome back to the Fish Life Podcast, the lowest budget, actually live podcast that exists in the world of bass fishing.
What's up?
It is extremely low budget. It's going to be a great night tonight because this idiot's going to hook himself on purpose, and then we're going to give you guys the hook removal braid trick live. This has never been done in the industry, folks. Nobody's ever live streamed somebody intentionally hooking themselves and then doing there's been videos of people doing the braid trick on the hook removal, but nobody's ever done it live on a fishing podcast.
So,
Because nobody hooks their stuff on purpose.
Well, what we pride ourselves on is showing you everything, whether we catch them or we don't, whether we remove this hook properly or we don't.
We had a very a true exclusive video with the behind the scenes look at the vegetation survey last week. Mm-hmm. So, we're just into doing big things, right?
That's right.
Like, you see stuff on this channel that you're not going to see anywhere else.
That's right. Hey, quick question before we do this.
Exclusive stuff.
Quick question before we do this. How many times?
Never before seen.
How many times?
You know what exclusive means?
I do know what exclusive means.
Okay.
How many times have you exclusively done the braid trick?
I've never done the braid trick. I've never done the braid hook removal trick ever, and I'm going to be the one doing it on him. So this could get interesting. Like, this guy might bleed everywhere.
It could get Western, as they say.
Right. Y'all like that?
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Well, on top of that, we're also, what else? We got a knot tying competition we're doing tonight. Mm-hmm. So me and you are going to square off on knot tying. I want to make sure we do the hook removal before we do the knot, so I can hopefully mess your arm up and slow you down.
Right.
We're also going to change blades on a spinnerbait. Is that what you said?
That's right. With no other tools.
Just your bare hand.
Just your bare hands.
The old bare finger. And I just trimmed my fingernails. That sucks.
I have no kind of advantage at this.
So, we're going to do a blade change on spinnerbait competition. Mm-hmm. We're also going to talk about tournament fishing that's going on. Brandon Polnick with a win at the Open.
That's right.
We got Bass Master Elite Series this week. We also got MLF Bass Pro Tour this week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Lots going on. It's prime time. It's May. It's Fishing World. We're all going to be stuck inside in the rain for the next few days, so you guys might as well watch this podcast. In fact, what you really need to do is drop a comment, let us know who we're talking to. Hit that thumbs up for us, because this is going to be the best thing you have going on in your life since we can't fish the next few days. And subscribe so that you can see the other videos we do the rest of the week.
Share
this sucker so that you can help all your buddies not be bored while they're stuck in the house in all the rain.
That's right. But hey, you know what? Y'all might just be hooking yourselves all week just because you learned how to do the braid trick.
There you go.
We don't know.
Officially, cheers. And welcome back to the lowest budget, actually live, the old LBAL podcast.
Yep.
Which makes you guys all low ballers.
Low ballers.
Man, let's get it started. I guess, obviously, fishing, we'll do a little fishing talk before we get into all the tricks tonight, but fishing's gonna be a challenge. We're going to have a lot of water level changes, a lot of water color changes. We've got 9 days forecasted in a row of rain here in East Texas. We've already had a bunch today. The gates are already open on Fork, and I'm sure they're open on all the lakes. Man, it's that's going to create some inconsistencies in the water column, and it's really going to make things tough.
Could be a bit of a challenge.
It's going to make, mainly is you just got to pay attention to what the water level's doing. Look at those water lines. Here's the tip for when the water levels are changing a bunch. Look at the water lines. If you're not seeing any sign of the water receding, that means that the water is now rising, because it's going to be changing with all this water coming in. So if you don't see any signs of water receding on the bushes, the trees, the shoreline, whatever, you need to get up shallow and you need to throw a frog, you need to flip, you need to throw a swim jig, and you need to get up in the shallow junk in the cover. And that's just a general tip. Now, if you see water receding, you want to get outside the edge of that, and then you want to do things like weightless plastics, swim baits, crankbaits, depending on the area that you're in, stuff like that. So you just want to fish the outside edges of the shallow cover if the water is receding. And if the water is rising, you don't see any signs of recession, that means it's rising because it's changing right now. Mm-hmm. Go get up on the bank and fish as shallow as you can with a frog and a swim jig are my two favorite baits. And then flipping, of course, is a great option as well. Maybe even punching if the flooded cover is thick enough.
So when your flipping bait of choice, are you throwing more of a crawl bait?
A beaver.
The beaver?
Yep. Yeah. Well, the 6 cents prawn is the one that I'm using.
The old school beaver style.
This time of year, I'm going to flip a beaver. Yeah. Now, if it's flooded bushes or something like that, I may pick up a jig with a stroker crawl, like a little jig, like a 3/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce jig.
Settle that presentation up a little bit.
Yeah.
Falls.
Yeah, I just like flipping the jig. And when
You too?
when the cover is applicable to a jig, I really like to flip a jig. Like if I can get a bite on a jig, I'm gonna throw it.
Yeah.
I really like throwing a jig.
Yeah.
Let's say some. We didn't do any hellos tonight. We need to do that. Say some hellos to
What's
the folks.
going on?
We got Brittany Stewart in the house, Gary Fraymiller, Cherokee Boggs, Christopher, Joe Hatcher, Dusty Smith, Dustin Spalding, David G, Parker Boyd, Jeff Bonner, Tony Perkins, Big John, John Risinger, Brian Richardson, Bustin' Outdoors, Jacob, I can't say your last name, Jacob, Terry Carley, John Wolf, and many, 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 many more. If I didn't call your name, I surely do apologize. Man, I appreciate every one of you guys joining us tonight. This is going to be great.
This is going to be fun.
It's going to be a great day off. Oh, you're here, dude?
Oh, you're here. What's that guy's name?
I don't know.
Shred.
yeah, that guy?
That guy.
Yeah, he's a shredder, yeah.
So, I guess we're going to get to this pretty quick.
Well, let's talk about tournament fishing.
You want to talk about tournament fishing first?
Talk about tournament fishing.
Sorry, dude. I'm excited. I'm a glutton for pain. So
okay. My boys messed up.
So Guntersville is going to be a mess.
What are we going to have Guntersville?
See, I don't know.
Is the Guntersville tournament going to happen? Because Guntersville is going to get the same system we're getting.
That's right.
Like a day later. Like they're going to get what we got today tomorrow. And
they've been getting everything.
All 3 days of practice are going to be just
it's going to be a mess.
Shit show.
Yeah.
And it's, man, are we going to have the tournament?
I don't know.
Mercer, if you chime in tonight, let us know. Are we going to have the Guntersville tournament?
Yeah, Mercer, we need to know.
I don't think he's here yet.
We got to know.
Maybe he is. Who knows?
So what, as far as, obviously the lightning, there will be a delay for that. But as far as unsafe water levels.
Well, it's good because it's a river system lake.
Right.
It could rise and fall with extreme amounts and get debris floating down the lake where they have to just call it off.
Yeah.
That is a possibility of it happening.
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw it at Neely Henry where they delayed it a day.
Yeah. Well, because, they've been getting, not only are they getting the same system we're getting now, they've been getting everything beforehand, too. So
I know.
It's
like if you're going to host a BASS event in Alabama this year, it's going to get flooded.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much what's happened. Every BASS event in Alabama this year has been flooded. Mm-hmm. And they've had to cancel and open and reschedule it. You know what I mean? Like, it's been bad over there in Bama for whatever reason. So, I don't know if we're going to have Guntersville or not. If we do have Guntersville under these conditions, that changes everything. And the delay in the weather temperatures is going to change everything. Because everything is so far behind from normal this year, you would think if you look back in November, December, they come out with their schedule, and you go, Guntersville, mid to late May. We're going offshore or we're going to be flipping some grass. Mm-hmm. Like post-spawn fishing, grouped up schools of fish. Probably not what's really happening right now out there. Like, I know there's some post-spawn fish, but they're not all post-spawn. There's probably some that are still pre-spawn on Guntersville right now, and there's for sure some spawning, I would think. And with that being said, and now you're going to add in the caveat of a bunch of fish being really shallow still, and that shallow water is going to be doing this. Who does that play into? Whose hands does that play into? What's your opinion? Do you have one?
I mean, I think you're, God, dude, I don't know. I mean, you can't.
I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think. I think the guys that plays into the best are the river system guys.
Yeah.
The Ott Defoes of the world. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know what tour he fishes anymore, but the Greg Vinson was a guy back in the day that was good at the river system.
He's BP2 now.
Hackney's usually pretty good on river systems. I think the river system, because they're so used to fluctuating water levels and current issues, that I think it's going to play into their strengths. They're going to be able to adapt and find off the wall different stuff easier.
I'm gonna make a bold statement here.
Ott Defoe don't fish bass though. I'm an idiot.
No, but you said the Ott Defoes of the world.
Yeah, like that type. The river system fishing.
I'm gonna make a bold statement. I'm gonna say, completely off the hip, I'm gonna say Brock Mosley gets a W.
Oh, he's gonna finally not get second.
He's gonna finally not get second. Yeah. I'm going with Brock Mosley because what I've seen from Brock Mosley this year in some of these grinder type tournaments where there is, weather, adversity, all that kind of stuff, he seems to be just kind of knocking on the door.
Swindle is an Alabama fisherman. He lives on Gunnersville.
Yeah.
So I guess the deal with Swindle, he just had a really good finish.
Home Lake Blues, though, man.
Home Lake Blues, but I mean, we saw Lee overcome that, and Swindle's fished enough bass tournaments, bass master tournaments on Gunnersville at this point to not be nervous or anything, and not have that kind of some of that stuff involved. But will Swindle be able to get off of the local knowledge and use his experience fishing river systems, which is an immense amount of experience?
Yeah.
He's pretty good at those river system type fisheries. He's a good junk fisherman.
Very good junk
Let's just go fishing and figure it out as we go.
Hell, he wrote the book on junk fishing.
You're right.
Yeah.
So will he be able to let go of the local knowledge at Gunnersville and do it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, he's riding a high after a good finish, good top 10. So, I
And
mean,
he still needs a win.
he's
He's got to get a win. Like, I know that's what's burning in his soul. He's got to get a win. He can't be as great as he has been for as long as he has been and in his career without a win.
yeah.
He's got to find that win. And he's starting to get kind of, oh, man, you seen the gray in that dude's beard? Like, he's getting up there. G-Man's getting up there.
I believe me, I'd love nothing more than to see it.
Everybody wants to see him win.
Love nothing more than to see it. That would be my, if I had a choice pick, 100% G-Man. But I just think, I don't know, man. I've been pretty impressed with Brock Mosley. I really have. And
Yeah, you're a Brock Mosley fan.
I'm a
I've
fan.
noticed that.
I'm a fan. Dude is good.
What about Jason Christie and that old 10
That was going to be
boat
another
river
one.
system
That was
type
going to be
thing?
another one. I was
In a
gonna say.
situation where it's going to be fluctuating and current and changing
Jason
water
Christie
levels.
is a safe pick. I feel like if you're doing it, the guys that do fantasy fishing and whatnot, I feel like Jason Christie's name is going to be thrown in there quite a bit on that one.
Yeah, I think so.
Which,
Hook in the arm, hook in the arm. We're getting there. It's coming up after we do tournament talk. Bassmaster Open, Brandon Polinick won it. Where were they fishing?
James River, Virginia, baby.
Yeah, James River, Virginia. Brandon Polinick won about 17 pounds a day on average for 3 days. He's just one of the best there is.
Dude, my favorite fisherman. You already knew that. Though.
Yeah, that is your guy.
Yeah.
He is really, and you know what's cool about Polinick is we're sitting here talking about, well, the river system guys might have an advantage on Gunnersville, the Alabama guys have it.
Polinick's pretty.
Let me tell you, somebody has an advantage on everywhere they go.
Is Polinick.
That it doesn't matter what type of fishery it is.
The diversity and the way he
This
fishes.
guy just won on the James River. He's won on Sam Rayburn. He almost won his first classic as an amateur, coming out of the amateur type ranks.
He's won at St. Clair.
On the Louisiana Delta.
Yeah.
He's won at St. Clair. He's won up north. Like, this guy wins. He's good at everything.
Yep.
There is no weakness in this man's game.
Yep.
He wins on social media too. Like, there's no
Yeah.
weakness
Oh,
in
yeah.
this man's game.
Yeah, I mean, I watch his YouTube channel religiously, and that dude is just,
He's after it.
dude, he is like 100%. He is on 100% of the time. Like, he's never off.
Somebody just said the prodigy strikes again. He is kind of he is a fishing prodigy. He came from the Bass Nation, qualified for the Classic, and almost won the dang thing when KVD was at the height of his powers.
That's right.
He took KVD on head, even was fishing in the same area as him in that event, and hung with him. And that's when KVD was the best in the world by a lot, not by a little.
Yeah.
Ever since then, he's never checked up.
No.
Like, he is a prodigy when it comes
And
to
he's,
fishing.
and he's humble. And he will talk to anybody that walks up to him.
Yes.
I
He's
mean-
good, yes. He handles himself very well. He's very good with fans. He's very gracious. It's always, there's nobody that sees Brandon Polinick win and goes, oh, God.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
If you don't like that, then you
yes, there's nobody out there that's not a Brandon Polinick fan. And even guys that may have, personally, he's not their favorite. I don't know anybody that thinks that way about him, but if there was, they all, everybody respects him to the end because he's so talented and works so hard and so diverse. He just does it everywhere. He's unbelievable. Great job, Brandon Polinick.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
congrats, brother.
Bass Pro Tour is coming up on the Harris Chain.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's going to be an interesting one, too.
Florida in May. Now, we saw that at Heavy Hitters last year when they went to Florida in May, which we don't normally see on the professional level tours. They normally go there in February, January, maybe March, but that's about it. You normally don't see them after that. We don't see them in May and June. Last year we did with the Heavy Hitters tournament, and it was interesting. It was interesting because it was different than what you normally see in a Florida tournament.
I don't know I haven't looked at what the weight minimum is going to be, but with the heavy hitters,
Surely
event,
it'll be a 2-pound minimum.
and with the heavy hitters event,
3.
you're obviously eliminating a lot of bites, and so I think it's going to be a better television product this time around as far as just action happening.
I'm sure it'll be a 2-pound minimum, and will it be won by somebody doing traditional Florida stuff, flipping, that kind of stuff? Probably not. It's probably going to be won by somebody finding groups of post-spawn fish. Because in Florida, they should be post-spawn by now, obviously.
That's right.
And so it's probably going to be won by somebody finding groups of post-spawn fish in a lot of times, if you remember back over some of the MLF events in Florida over the years, even in the Cups, guys would run up these channels.
Yeah.
And find these fish schooled up in groups in these channels, and really, Edwin Evers in that one cup way back day, he got to go to that river at the last minute and just caught fish every cast till he won.
Yeah.
He came from way behind. And with an every fish counts event, you get on a school of Florida bass.
Yeah, you might
You
be
can make up
2-pounder, 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 8, and you're like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, when a dude catches 15 to 20 fish an hour and an average of 3 pounds, he can rack up some weight real quick. And that can be a wide open. So we got 2 great live events to watch this week.
Yes, we do.
As long as the Gunnersville tournament happens. And if the Gunnersville tournament doesn't happen, we've got the Bass Pro Tour Harris Chain, which is going to be a great event. I think they're going to catch them. I think those guys are going to bust them up and really catch them. As long as Harris Chain's in good shape and doing well, they should bust them up in Florida and catch them. Gunnersville will be a very interesting tournament because we'll see a different Gunnersville than what we've seen. It's not going to be the same old, let's go out to the main lake on grass lines or let's go offshore and crank. That's not what we're going to see on Gunnersville this time around, I don't believe. So very, very good live coverage that we're going to get a variety of this week to watch. It should be fun.
I think we're going to see a lot of similar patterns if the Gunnersville happen, as you just talked about. I think there's going to be a lot of get up in the shallow flooded stuff and flip around and see what happens.
Flip, frog, swim jig. I'll tell you what, there's a man named Gerald Swindle, again, he's pretty good with a swim jig and a frog in his hand.
Hey,
he just did it at Neely Hill. That's what he was doing.
There's a guy named Seth Fighter that's not bad at it himself.
Oh, that's fair. And Jason Christie.
And Jason Christie.
Yeah, all those names that we talked about there. That's going to be a fun event. I hope it does happen. I'd like to see him attack Gunnersville.
I'd like to see
in this
Patrick
situation.
Walters close the live points race.
I think the time has come.
Time has come.
Who wants to see my man stick a hook all the way in his arm? It's a treble hook off a jerkbait.
Because we picked this hook specifically because jerkbaits are usually the usual suspect. People
Fair point. Fair point. So we're going to stick this in Chris's arm. He's going to stick it in his arm. And
I don't think I can actually show him while I do it.
I have never done the braid removal trick. Ever.
I don't think I can actually show him while I do it.
You can't?
I don't think it's...
We're putting it on camera.
And we're back.
Hey, somebody comment, let us know that we're still live, because I just accidentally
And
hit a
we're
button.
back.
Y'all comment and tell me if we're still live. I just accidentally hit a button for a second.
Are we back?
They're going to tell us in a minute. Start digging that hook in. We're showing them live.
Let's go.
They're going to get the hook view. Hold on.
We're good?
We're good. All right, let's go.
All right, you ready?
Get it in there, Chris. How far in are we?
Almost.
Let's see.
Hold on. Almost past the bar.
Oh, you got to get the bar.
know.
Hold, move your hand. Move your hand.
You're so close. We're
Yeah,
almost...
Let me get from this side. The barb is not quite in. We're right at
We're
the barb.
so close.
Get it on in there, big dog.
That's what I'm doing, homie.
You're handling this like a champ. I'll give you that.
There it is. Ow! As you speak, I'm trying not to get it too much in my dang forearm meat. There it is. We are in.
Let's hold it. Lay your arm this way, and I'm gonna rotate it up.
We are in, folks.
That is in there like swimwear, past the barb right there. That's awesome. Good job. All right, you did really. Hold on, like you didn't like whine or cry or nothing. We got to switch sides.
I'm a freaking man, Billy.
Oh, you're not just a man. You're a freaking man.
I couldn't say what I wanted to say.
I hear you. I hear you, man. Okay. My man literally has
Golly.
A hook
I
in his-
just stabbed myself with the
For
dang
the first
treble
time
hook.
ever, we just showed you guys somebody hooking themselves on purpose live on a podcast.
Yeah.
All right, this is what you got to do when you're doing the braid removal trick.
You want me to hold it up?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna hold it up.
Okay.
Okay. Hooks in the arm. So if you're out fishing, you find yourself with a hook past the barb in your arm and just going in like that one is. There's no way to push the hook point through. You can push the hook point through and then cut the hook with some cutters behind the barb and then slide it back out. I've had to do that to myself. That's really simple if you can do that. But this is going in at a point where like we'd have to bend it to get it. It would hurt real bad to get it out.
Yeah.
To push it through. Here's what you do. You take braid. This is 50-pound braid. You don't have to use 50-pound braid, but I recommend it. You're going to go get in here, and I'm going to get around the shank of this hook, and I'm going to wrap this braid several times around the shank of this hook. And then we're going to tighten all those wraps. Really, really tight. Really, really tight.
There you go.
Loop this so it all pulls from one place. I'm twisting the line so it all pulls from one place. Okay, now I'm going to take and wrap this around my hands, my fingers. Make sure there's no possibility of it slipping. Now what you got to do, hold your wrist, Chris. I want to push down, straight down on the shank of the hook.
Yep.
Really, really hard like this. And then I'm going to get it tight. Okay, it's tight. Now you want to put slack in it, and when you come,
You better pop.
you come. Like when you put slack in the line, hopefully y'all can see that slack. But when you get that slack in there, you've got to snap it. So you ready, Chris?
Come on.
1, 2, and it's out. Did
It's
that
out,
hurt at all?
baby. I didn't feel a thing.
You're not even bleeding.
not even bleeding. No
Not
more.
a drop of blood.
See, look right there. That's where.
Not
it
a
was.
drop of blood.
This is when we. This
The
is
key
not
is you
important.
push down on the shank of the hook and you just snap that sucker hard as you can. And it's coming. And
First
pull it
victory.
straight back. Don't pull it up. Don't pull it up. People make that mistake because they're trying to round that barb off the meat that it took to. No, you pull it straight back and it pops right out.
Bang.
That's as easy as you can get. You can get a hook out anyway. I did good for my first
That was
time.
good. That
First
was
time I've
good.
ever done that. It's really good.
I'm glad that. Do we need to switch seats?
Yeah, I feel weird on this side.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Easy does it.
Easy. How about that?
Look at that. You can just barely see.
Need a live action replay?
That's funny. I believe I earned me something.
Get the old lipper in there?
Yeah.
Need to see that in slow motion. Well, there are other videos of people doing that where you get the slow motion and the live action replay. Unfortunately, we wanted to do it live because nobody's ever done it live. So we need to do it again. Do y'all think we should do it again? What do you think, Chris?
Tony Perkins. Chris didn't get it very deep, just the tip.
Let's play a little game just to see if you like it. Okay, Chris is moving on. He doesn't want redo. She missed it. We got to do it again.
Yeah. She was talking us through the whole thing.
There will be a replay. Like you'll be able to watch this
Yeah.
once we're done with the live stream. You'll be able to go back and watch it.
Yep. All right. So this right here, okay, so this is completely backwards. So a lot of times on spinnerbaits, we like to upgrade our
Again,
willow
and
blade.
is it? You sure we can't do it again? Everybody's wanting us to do it again.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Does it hurt at all?
No.
I mean, did it hurt? Like, what happened there? Like, did that hurt at all?
Just pressure.
Just pressure.
Just pressure.
No real pain at all.
I mean, digging the hook in there, I mean, it didn't feel awesome, but
Right.
pulling it out, no.
Nothing.
It just felt like a,
Yeah, I've had it done on me. Like,
Yeah.
the hook coming out doesn't hurt.
no. I mean,
Was the barb cut off? No, the barb is
Absolutely
not
not.
off. Here, the line is still wrapped around the shank of the hook.
there is still
And I know that's not focusing very well, but there is a barb right there that my finger's catching on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a barb right there.
You know, we didn't cheat y'all. I promise you.
Let me get the right. Y'all can kind of see the barb a little bit. No, I mean, it's a small hook. It's a jerkbait hook. But
Yeah. So anyways, spinnerbaits. We like to upsize willow blades from 4s to 5s.
At times, we change the willow, or we change the willow to a Colorado.
That's right. And so we're going to do this deal right here where you got to change this hook without any
Any tools.
tools. And we're going to see you can do it quicker.
And any time that you're bass fishing, I'm just checking it out.
I hear you,
I'm
man.
not cheating. I'm just
It's a
checking it out.
regular Regular spinnerbait, regular sand tone spinnerbait.
Where's the change blade? Okay. So we're gonna have a race.
We are gonna have a race.
Now we gotta back this up. We gotta move this where the folks can see this.
Okay. I like it. Whoa! Live action.
Lowest budget. Absolutely lowest budget. Actually live. No doubt about it.
I like it.
Still not gonna hold.
Ooh, look at there.
That's gonna fall halfway through, guaranteed.
You think so?
Guaranteed.
Not if you reinforce that
Okay.
sucker. Okay, so what we're gonna do?
They can see. They can see. Yeah, they can see our hands.
All right, so this blade has to come off. That blade has to go on.
Right.
And just for proof, I brought two number 5s to replace the number 6s.
I don't care what size the blades are. This is just about the race.
This is just proof.
You can change the blades for whatever reason you want to change the blades for.
That's right.
Right? Are we ready?
You ready?
One. Hold on. You get set. Tell me when you're comfortable and you're ready to go.
I'm ready.
When you're prepared.
I'm ready.
Trying to get everything positioned here to do
I'm
this.
still looking for my. Okay, I'm ready.
You positioned?
Yep.
1,
Oh.
2, 3, go. Oh, my stupid thing hung up. My little rotational deal's hanging up on me, Chris.
Oh my dang it.
I'm right there.
I'm so close.
What if you get 2 blades on there? Does that
The
count?
worst possible thing just happened.
How do I get 2 blades on the spinnerbait?
I don't know how'd you do that.
Normally when you start the second,
Did you just come up with a new invention? Here, let's just add another. Let's see how many blades you can add.
it's called the jingle. It's the spinner jingle. So what I normally do to change blades is I get the one going, then right before I go off, I go in behind it,
Yep.
and I rotate it. I guess I must have put it in front of it, and I put them both on.
So did you double win?
It was almost a tie on the time of it.
Yeah.
I got in a hurry and screwed something up. You win. You clearly win.
That was something.
Oh, I'm an idiot. All right.
I'm gonna fish with this.
Just shake it like a
Yeah.
swim jig and go jing, 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 jing.
Oh my gosh, that was impressive, Billy.
The spinner jingle.
Hold on, let me just.
Oh my goodness.
fair is fair.
Oh, you can't make this up, folks. This is live. I've never had that happen before.
I didn't even win.
I've changed 1,000 spinnerbait blades. I've never had that happen before.
That was pretty incredible, Billiam.
Yeah, I impressed myself.
Dude. I'm gonna go grab these out of my box in a couple months, and Cameron's gonna look at me and go,
You're just gonna be,
"What is wrong?"
Well,
with you?"
and you're gonna be dying laughing.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Because now I'm doing mine like this.
Let's go.
We about to do the. Oh Lord.
Not tying competition.
Not tying.
Since I just lost one, I gotta try. Hopefully, I can win one.
Oh, I gotta get this.
I hate tying a Palomar fluorocarbon, but we're just gonna cut some line off and then tie with it, right? How are we doing it?
Sure. Or you can keep it attached to the spool so you got tension. It's up to you.
Okay.
All right. So.
Well, for this polymer, you don't need tension.
Yeah, true. I'm just.
Okay, you're gonna keep it attached to the spool?
Yeah, I am. All right. It's Palomar knot.
Polymer knot.
We'll best 2 out of 3. Cause.
Polymer knot's gonna be the first one.
Yeah. And then.
Where do we gotta start? Line outside the aisle like this? This is our starting
that's fine.
position?
That's fine.
Okay.
Tell me when.
Okay, you ready to go?
Come on.
1, 2, 3, go. I can't see as good as you see.
I can't see it all.
I can't see it all, he says.
Man, I thought I could do this fast, but apparently I was wrong.
Get up there, baby. Oh, I got wrapped around the head. Did you beat me again?
Yeah.
I'm around the head. Look, I tied it too tight. It's around the head.
That's the improved Palomar knot.
I'm done. I got a real legit polymer knot right there. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Did you already win yours too?
Yeah.
Did you already beat me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't cut my tag though, but it's okay.
Well, neither one of us did.
That's okay. What's the second knock?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. I told you we was gonna
Live
fall.
action. See, I
told
don't know
you
the
it was
Homer
gonna
circle. So run that through real quick.
What, the Homer circle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't know how to tie it.
Nope. Never needed it.
Well, it's a fisherman's knot with a loop around the bottom of it.
Oh, okay.
That's all it is. Man, I got jig strands and everything caught up in my knot. I suck at this racing stuff, dude.
Yeah, it makes you think you don't know what you're doing. I've learned.
When you race at it.
Yeah.
Here, get that off as well. We'll answer a couple questions real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
And we'll bring the camera back up where it goes.
Yeah.
The audio was hilarious without watching the video. Which audio? Everybody's saying that you need to throw that double-bladed spinnerbait.
I'm going to.
Time to invest in a phone stand. We can't do that. Then we wouldn't be the lowest budget. Because somebody else out there's got to be doing a live stream with just a phone. Like if we buy a stand, we couldn't be the lowest budget. Like this is. I tied the whole thing up,
That
dude.
is reinforcement.
I tied the jig strands, the head. I'll put all of it in there.
Billy, I'm calling this the.
I only tie polymer nuts with braid, dude. I should have grabbed this spool and I probably could have got you.
Yeah.
Or I could have hung with you.
I'm gonna call this the.
On the spinnerbait blade change the audio.
I'm gonna call this the therapy knot. The positive reinforcement right here.
By the way, guys, I just finished up a few days of fishing at Ray Roberts and had a blast. And we caught I did catch some big fish out of Ray
Oh
Roberts.
yeah, talk a little bit about that.
Man, that's a tough pond though, and I mean, it's tough. When you get anywhere, anytime you go somewhere and you're brand new to it, it's tough. Especially a big lake like Ray Roberts. And Ray Roberts is a really diverse fishery, so it's going to be a challenge to figure it out. And it proved to be. And I'd always heard Roberts was kind of a tough fishery.
So realistically, you think 6 to 8 bites a day is gonna fare pretty well for somebody?
Well, I don't want to say anything because we got a whole preview video that viewers can
Gotcha.
watch. So.
Gotcha.
I did break down the lake, broke down what I saw at the lake, the types of structure I saw, the types of cover, the fish catches that we were getting, and kind of tried to forecast what should happen in a few weeks at the Classic. Because the whole reason I went there, Bassmaster Classic's coming up in a few more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, about a month, less than a month now from the Bassmaster Classic kicking off June 11th. So I wanted to do that, and we got some good fish catches on camera. We didn't catch a ton of fish by any means, but I've always heard Ray Roberts is tough for numbers, has a great size, and I found exactly that when I was there. I really I enjoy the lake, the way it's set up, the way it looks, the way it feels, the fact that you do catch bigger fish often on average for the fish catches you get. I love all that. It's just a grind to catch them out there. I mean, it shouldn't have been. We had really good conditions. It was May, it shouldn't have been tough.
Just one of them things.
Yeah, it's tough.
So explain to me this Homer circle, and then we're gonna do a braid to fluorocarbon.
Uni?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. The Homer circle is pretty simple. I'll just show it to you in slow motion. You go through the eye of the hook. You tie an overhand knot around your main line.
Mm-hmm.
You keep it open. You wrap up 3 times. This jig skirt's killing me. Down 3 times. And then you go back through your original overhand knot that's also around your main line. So you're tagging and your main line around the overhand knot.
Wet it down real good so you don't get no fluorocarbon burn.
Mm-hmm. You cinch it down.
Now, Billy, I've been fishing with you for a long time, and you swear by this thing.
So that's the best knot for fluorocarbon. I tied a lot. Yeah, it's the best knot for fluorocarbon.
So
what we did is the reason we're tying this knot is because I was like, you mentioned
Right,
this
we
idea
did
to
my
me,
knot.
and that's you tie polymer knot with fluorocarbon, mono,
Yep.
everything. You tie polymer knot on everything, pretty much.
the only thing I don't is if I throw a loop knot.
Yeah.
That's the only other knot I really tie.
And I always tie this knot on fluorocarbon and mono, which is, unless I'm doing a loop knot, which is most of my knots are this knot.
Right.
I only tie polymer knot with braid.
Yeah. So pretty much if I'm throwing a
So
jerkbait,
you have a
that's
lot more
it.
practice with polymer knot. I knew you'd get me on that one. I figured you would, especially tying up fluorocarbon because fluorocarbon is different than braid. But this one, I should be able theoretically to
Right.
hammer you on this one.
Yeah, the
Get that knot off for me.
yeah, the if you see me throwing a jerk bait, it's a loop knot.
Right.
But if you see me throwing anything else, it's Palmer knot.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I
I
mean, you
mean,
pretty much tie Palmer up. There you go. You're getting pretty good at that deal.
yeah, man. Oh yeah, I mean, if you didn't need to like,
I'll tell you this: you're gonna want to have tension on the line when
yeah,
you tie
for sure,
this one.
for sure. Okay, can I practice one real quick? Just make
Yeah,
sure
do
I
one
got
in
it.
slow motion. Know you can do it right. Sure.
Okay. So
We talking about practice?
practice.
We talking about practice? People keep mentioning all these. I don't know how to tie all these knots. I got like a few knots that I use.
So I'm gonna.
People keep throwing knots up there. I don't know how to tie all of them.
So I'm gonna screw this up for y'all. So y'all can go with me. So overhand knot, and you go back through it, correct? Go back through the knot.
No,
No?
you screwed up already.
Okay. So there's my
Start
overhand knot.
over. Nope, you did it wrong.
Okay.
All right. Your main line's through.
Yeah. Main line's through.
Okay, tie an overhand knot with this going through the middle of it. So you're gonna come around like this.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
If I can get a hold of that fishing line, and then like that right there.
Got you.
Okay.
Then
Then you go up 3, down 3, and back through that same knot.
go up 3. I see why you need tension.
2KRL says he smokes too much to remember the knots. Send it, big dog. He says he just ties a polymer on everything because he can't remember all the other knots.
Don't drink and drive, smoke and fly.
Go on and send it. Not my gig, never has been, but more power to you, brother.
Then you take this, go back through.
Now, wet it and cinch it. Now you got to pull. The key here is you got to pull from. You got to put the tag in your teeth because you got to pull from the tag end, the head, and the main line all at the same time. You said you didn't get it cinched down quite all. Yeah, it's tough. You got to cinch it down tight. See how it's messing your knot up?
Oh yeah, that's tough.
Now get this pulled all the way through. Like grab that in your back teeth.
Oh.
Grab that in your chewers where you can pull hard. There you go.
You like that?
Let's see. Nope, stretch back out again. That's okay. It's pretty good for your first time.
I
All
can
right.
catch a 10-pounder on this.
All right, cut that off. Let's do this competition. I think I gotta win something. I gotta win something tonight, my God. We're losing viewers, Chris.
You already won the braid trick.
I didn't win the braid trick. That
Sure
was
you
a
did.
that was team effort.
Yeah.
The only competitions we had were the knot tying and the spinnerbait blade changing. I've lost both.
All right, next is salsa dancing. I got you in that stuff.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
This is gonna suck. Oh Lord. This dude's already on his twists. I'm screwed.
I got so many jig strands in the middle of this knot. It's ridiculous. Jig strands in the knot still count.
No way. You're already on the cinch.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
I can't get it to cinch because there's jig strands in it. Oh,
Protest.
look at this. Look at all the jig strands in it. I mean, it's done. It's a perfect knot. But look at the jig strands tied up in it. Look. I mean, the knot's right, though.
I tied a better one that time. I didn't.
You said, no, I didn't.
Oops. Oh, I broke my knot.
Look, perfect knot. No jig strands.
Look at that. Boom, Billy wins. All right.
Thank goodness.
Nice.
I may not win all of them, but I won the last one, boys. That's all that matters to me right now, because that's the one we just did. All right,
Good
that's
stuff.
it.
Good stuff.
Knot tying competition done.
That was fun.
It was fun. I like, you know me, I like competing. I don't know how fun it was for our viewers. I don't know how much fun they're having.
Hey, but I'll tell you one thing. One of these Sunday afternoons, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a flipping contest live. And what I'm going to do
Sold.
is I'm going to bring some milk crates.
Weather permitting, we'll do it next Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll bring some egg crates for us to stand on, kind of like fishing decks, fishing platforms.
Yeah.
And then we'll take some paper plates and we'll number them.
Hit that knot for me.
We'll number them on a point system, and it'll be kind of like...
And we'll have to tell some of the stories from some of the, because me and you've had some
Yeah.
throwdowns on this before.
For sure. Or what we can do is we can play horse. Kind of like basketball, horse. But
I like it.
with flipping.
I'll bring the popcorn. Brittany Stewart's bring the popcorn.
Come on.
She's our team mom.
Come on.
Brittany Stewart, you're now officially the team mom if you're Lake Fork guy.
Yeah.
You're bringing the snacks.
Gluten-free popcorn, please.
Gluten free?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, bring me some gluten.
No.
Fat boys like that gluten.
I want all the gluten.
Fat boy, yeah, I'm about to say, I've seen you eat more Twinkies than the rest of the world combined. I opened this door to get in this guy's truck one day, and I couldn't put my feet in the floorboard because it's full of Twinkie wrappers.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
You got nothing. There's nothing you can say.
Hey, man. You're not wrong.
Guilty.
You're not wrong. Guilty as charged.
Cedar Creek Freak says he's got his money's on me in the flipping competition.
So that's actually a safe bet, but I will tell you, I will not go lightly.
And he'll practice like every day.
I'm pretty decent at flipping. Now, I don't do it every day, so
Yeah.
you probably...
I'm not going to be doing it every day this week. It's
Yeah.
raining all week.
I mean, this is the best. Honestly, this is the best week leading up to
Yeah,
the flipping
scratch that.
contest.
Let's wait till we get a new wave of fish on beds, and let's do it the week after that.
Oh, yeah, because that's fair.
Because I will tell you this. There is a definite difference in my flipping accuracies
Yeah.
after I get about 2 or 3 weeks of solid bed fishing in.
For sure.
Bro, I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm way better.
I mean, it's just like anything else. The more you do it, the more accurate you're going to be with it. Who just said Uncrustables?
Brittany Stewart says she's in. She's the team mom. She's got us on the snacks. Nice. I like it. Twinkies and Uncrustables with a side of pizza rolls for Cobra. Cobra don't play.
Those are like all the things I like.
It's just funny to me that the Cobra thing is sticking with you.
Oh, yeah. I've been Cobra for a long time.
Is Fort going to be blown out by next Monday? It's going to be blown out by like tomorrow.
Midnight tonight.
We're supposed to get over 2 inches of rain Tuesday. If that happens, it'll definitely be blown out by Wednesday.
The guy just said Uncrustables are for kids. I am a kid.
Yeah. In case you didn't know.
Next.
Just because he's 32 doesn't mean he's not a kid.
Facts. So I was talking to a friend of ours, Hunter, has a river cabin there on Sabine.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they actually had to go get all their stuff today from outside
it's rising
because
so much.
it's going to break the banks. Is what they call
Yeah,
them.
golly, that's crazy. Because me and you have been there when it's at normal level, and it's
That's
like
right.
a drop down there. Like it's way, like that river's super high if it's coming up there.
Like you can toss a beer can and put 3 shotgun shells in it before it hits water.
Yeah, it's a drop.
Yeah.
It's a ways of a
So
drop.
they're calling for it to actually break the banks. So
That's
yeah,
insane.
it's going to be
Wow.
a lot of muddy water into a lot of these lakes, but
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of flooding. By the way, prayers for all the people. Prayers and well wishes for all the people that are living in those type of areas, man, because there's going to be a lot of people throughout the state, throughout the entire Southeast that are going to get flooded.
that's right.
It's going to be a tough time for them.
So let me ask you this. In a situation like this, water levels rising so much and flooding new stuff, right or wrong, bigger fish are going to get more accessible.
No.
Not
No. What happens is they get spread out and they get back in stuff where you can't access them.
so they get so shallow that you can't get.
They get so far back in the junk you can't get to them, and there's less fish for you to get to, and they're more spread out. It's going to make it tougher. It is. You can still go get it done, but
Right.
it's going to be tougher.
You got to be able to flip.
It all depends on how high the water gets. Like on Fork, it's not going to get 5 foot over full pool. It's
Right.
not capable of doing that. It doesn't have the watershed, doesn't have the river, doesn't have nothing, doesn't have a river.
Well, I just know on Pines.
But on a Lake of the Pines or on a Sam Rayburn or Toledo
Mm-hmm.
Bend, and it starts getting 5, 6 foot high, and it starts flooding the pine trees, and you got 5 foot of water on the old shoreline. They get so far back in there, you can't even access them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on Toledo Bend when it was all time high, 10 foot high. I was there, and what we were doing is just taking jigs and throwing them as hard and low as we could, and skipping them as far back into the junk as we could skip them to try and get bites because the fish were so far up in there. And we caught some good fish doing that when I was there, but it was like not nearly as good
all these lakes have pine thickets all the
because
way
there was
around them.
so many fish that you just couldn't even
Yeah.
access. You couldn't throw a bait at.
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Yeah, now after the rain and after the lakes kind of settle in and the water level quits changing so drastically, having them up in the flooded cover is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Because I mean, who doesn't want to throw a frog, a swim jig, and a flipping bait, you know? Like, that's going to be your tools.
Those are all the things I like.
That's going to be your tool. Like, who doesn't like, if you don't like that, then you need to change the channel, dog. Like,
Yeah.
you're in the wrong spot.
Hashtag facts.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be good. And it's going to be good for all the new fry to have that.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be good for the future of our lakes to have all the fry have all that cover available to them to hide in and grow a little bigger before they get exposed to the
Just
predators.
like back whenever all these lakes were recovering
Yeah.
from the heavy drought.
Yep.
Yep.
No, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. But for a week or two,
Yeah.
it's going to be tough.
You might be able to find me on Lake Palestine.
In fact,
this Saturday.
what you're going to find me doing during this phase is you're going to probably find me going to power plant lakes, even though it's not the time of year for it.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm going to do that is because power plant lakes are very, very regulated with their water levels. And they're smaller, and they have a lot of grass, most of them. And so the water stays cleaner. You don't
Yep.
get the water color change. It's not as drastic. It'll change, but not as drastically.
Yeah.
The water levels will stay more stable. It's just a more stable environment. So I will hit some power plant lakes here the next couple weeks.
10-4.
Yep, absolutely.
I want your pick for Gunnersville if it happens.
Pick for Gunnersville. I'm going Jared.
You going G-Man?
I'm gonna go
I
with
like
Jared.
it. I like it.
He just got close. He's hungry. He's got the fire in his belly. That was obvious and evident that he's
Yeah.
fired up. And I think if he can get the local knowledge out of his head, if he can forget that, and I think he's veteran enough to do that. I hope. But if he can get that local knowledge of what he's supposed to be doing in Mount Gunnersville out of his head, and treat it like the different fishery that it's going to be with all these weather changes, it suits him better. It suits him better than normal Gunnersville does, really.
Yeah. No, I'm
You
with you. I like it.
Who you pick?
I got to go to Brock Mosley, dude.
Yeah, you're
I
gonna
think
go.
he's getting. I think he's getting the monkey off his back sometime, and he's running out of time because I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him in the smallmouth lakes to know that if he can hang with the Seth Fighters, the Chris Aldanes, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know because there's not many people that are as good as.
Well,
any
it's
guy.
different. Most of
Yeah.
our bass fishermen on the tour come from the South predominantly. Traditionally, we're getting more and more from Canada and the North and all that. But traditionally, most of our bass fishermen come from the South, and they just don't have that experience on those vast open water
That's right.
smallmouth fisheries. That's just a different type of fishing. It's no different than me going to Ray Roberts where I've never been. It's like, oh God, this is kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
I go to Fork and I run right past all the bad stuff into the good stuff because I've seen it a million times. Or I go to a lake that's like Fork. You know what I mean? I go to another East Texas fishery and I can break it down and figure it out. I can go to Palestine and figure it out a lot easier than I can go to Ray Roberts and figure it out. I don't
Right.
really fish Palestine hardly ever.
That's right.
I can go figure it out on Palestine a lot easier than I can on Fork because it's what I'm used to. Those guys get up there in the northern fisheries and it's so much different than what they're used to. Yeah, it's tough. Live scope's changing a lot of that though. That's the thing about that live scope, active target, forward facing sonar, whatever you want to call it. It's changing that a lot. Where guys that on that open water deal for those smallmouth, that's brought a lot of people into play.
Yeah.
Because if they just stumble across some good fish, they can see them. They don't have to understand the fishery anymore. They can just look at them. You know what I'm saying? So it changes things.
I'm telling you, after I played with it the first time, I was sold.
I caught some fish on Ray Roberts using it. Like on on a shad spot, I was using it because on a shad spot, Ray Roberts is a big lake and has some big structures. And on one point I put up, it's a big point. It's a big area. It's a big long ridge with a point that runs out off it, and there was birds all over it, wind crashing on it. So you didn't really know exactly what part to go at. And I just sat outside of it and kind of used that Lowrance active target, scanned around, and went, oh, there they are. Threw out there, first cast, boom, sand bass. Second cast, boom, sand bass. Third cast, boom, 5 pound largemouth. I was like, oh, hey.
Well,
that active target, I was literally lining my cast up every cast with that active target, scanning for where the school was moving along that point, along that ridge, and I was making every cast into the school, and I was catching them. You can't do that before.
Yeah.
Without that, I'm just going down that whole ridge and hoping to collide with that school. And I'm fishing the juice, but that school's moving around with those shad the whole time. And now I can actually keep the bait on them. There was another morning when I pulled up in there and just on a little shallow area, flat bank with a little bit of wind on it. And it wasn't really, the shad spawn didn't, I was a little bit later in the morning. The shad spawn wasn't really happening. But I could see fish. No, it wasn't a different, it was later that day. It was later that day. It had gotten cloudy. It was bright early, then it got a little cloudy. And I pulled into this other area, and there was a little bit of wind, but shad spawn wasn't really happening anymore. And I just kind of scanned around, and it was cloudy, so I picked up a top water, popping bait, and I scanned around. So I could see bait fish. The shad had kind of backed off the bank a little bit, 3-4 foot of water, and I saw some bass out there, and I chunked that dang popper out there where I saw the bass on the active target and caught 2 of them. So it's already changing the way I fish, even in shallow water.
You don't even have to see your bait, is what you're telling me, on the actual active target itself. You can actually.
You just see the fish and you throw in their area,
right,
and you know, especially this time of year when they're wanting to feed, you can catch them using it like that.
That's crazy.
It's just the efficiency, man. It makes you so efficient. Like my bait is being like that fish is seeing my bait,
That's right.
whether he bites it or not. And there's a million times that I see a fish and I make a cast and they don't bite it.
Right.
Most of the time.
Right.
But every time when there's fish around, every time I make a cast, it's around, like a fish can see it. It's in their viewpoint. And then there's times when I pulled up on shad spawn point, or what I think would be a good shad spawn point, a wind blown point. I'll pull up there and I sit outside of it and I scan around and I go, there's nothing here. Boom, don't even make a cast. Whereas before I would just go along, wind blown point, looks like the right thing. It patterns just like the other one. We'll sit there 10, 15 minutes, whatever, and not catch anything because there's nothing on it.
And maybe miss something, maybe miss what you're looking for somewhere else.
Waste time, yeah. And so now it just makes you so much more, like you don't have to cast until you see them now.
That's insane.
It's turning everything into sight fishing in a kind of different way, but yeah. It's like sight fishing for fry garters is basically what I would equate it to. I can see the fry, I can see the bass, and I just stay at a distance and cast in that area and slow down and try to catch them. Same thing with this active target.
Game changer.
I mean, that's how I'm using it right now while bass are shallow and feeding.
Right.
Later in the year, I'm hoping I'll get to a point where I can get it dialed in, where I can see my bait and watch the fish react to my bait, like Patrick Walters and all those other guys do. Like Jack York and Josh Jones and all those guys do. You know.
Yep.
I'm beginning to understand why a lot of those guys use A-rigs offshore, the Josh Joneses of the world, Jack York, they use those Alabama. Because it's hard to see your bait at a distance if you're using a smaller bait.
Yeah. See, I was using
Like
a stick bait.
a swim bait or a crankbait, I can see pretty good. It creates a good image. A jerk bait, you can see it flash. Like you don't see it the whole time, but you see it flashing when you twitch it. But if you're throwing like a shaky head out there or even a jig, if it's at distance, you really can't see it.
Yeah.
You know, every once in a while, maybe you'll get a look at it. For me, and I'm new to this. I'm learning. I'm not that good at it yet. But I have a hard time seeing baits that aren't just big, obvious baits on that live scope. And so it makes sense why those guys use that A-rig, because you can see, I imagine, I haven't used one yet on it, but I would imagine you can just see the hell out of that A-rig on it. And that's going to help you keep that bait. The more you can see your bait, the more you're going to be able to keep it right in that fish's face.
That's right.
You're going to be able to bring it right to that fish.
See, because when I was using it on Lake Tyler in my buddy's boat, I was throwing a wacky worm, and I couldn't really see my bait until it got about 12 foot from the boat.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there with it literally, like, when I set the hook, I had to make sure I didn't set it too hard because we were so tight with light line. And finally, I could barely see my bait, and it got better and better. But like I said, 12 foot was about as close as I could go, that's my bait.
It's almost under the boat by the time you see it. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and so, yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't know if I'm trying to figure out a way. I can't figure out a way. I need to do some more. I need to do some research. I haven't really done any research. I've just turned it on and started using it and played with it a little bit. Yeah. But I have started playing with the contrast settings on the Lowrance Active Target. And I can't get it dialed to a point where I can see those smaller baits. I just can't do it. I don't know if that's just the way it is. I need to talk to somebody or something.
Yeah.
You know, you know this about me. I just kind of mind my own business and go do my own thing. And these days, I don't even look up anything. And it's dumb of me. It's ignorant of me. But I don't even look up anything on the internet or nothing. I just go figure it out myself.
Yeah.
And I need to take the time to be more inquisitive. I used to be a lot more, adamant about research.
That's right.
And trying to educate myself through research.
I know a guy you can probably call, though. He could help you out a little bit.
On Active Target?
Yeah.
Who's that?
His name's Patrick.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't want to be that guy.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to be that guy who goes, "Hey, Patrick, can you tell me how to do this?"
Yeah.
I don't. I don't want to bother
Yeah.
Patrick Walters. He's obviously a super busy guy, and that knowledge that he's gained is worth money. There's guys like Josh Jones that are making a full-time living on people hiring him to teach them live scope.
Yeah.
And so Patrick, obviously, if he wanted to teach people live scope, he could charge whatever he wanted to, and everybody would book him. So I don't want to be the guy that's asking.
There are some settings videos out there that you could probably watch that are pretty.
Yeah, I looked up the settings videos, and none of them had anything to do with like the contrast or dialing it in.
Really?
Not really. Nothing other than just move the contrast up now. And on live scope, you just move. It's the same thing. It's called gain. Though.
Yeah.
You just move the gain up and down. You turn it down. It's tough. It's just. I don't think there's a lot to it. It's really simple. Run it higher than you think. I do. I run it high. I've been running it a lot on my Lowrance Active Target at auto +7, auto +8. Which to put that in relation to regular sonar or downscan, side scan, I typically run that on auto to auto +2 at the most. Maybe +3 in the right situations. But I'm running my active target on auto +8, +7.
So let me ask you this, and if you don't, I don't even know if you play with it this much. Is live scope and active target, is that a technology where you have to change your settings?
The only thing
clear
you can change
versus
is
dirty water?
The only thing, yeah, you need to monkey with it a little bit. But I'm running it on +7, +8, and all the water that I've been fishing is pretty similar here lately. It's been pretty stable.
Right.
And I know it's right because I can see the fish.
Right.
I can see a fish at 70 feet.
Yeah.
60, 70 feet, I can see a fish. Plain as day. I can see shad balls. When the shad are at 40 feet, I can not only see the shad ball, but see the individual shad in the ball. So I know I'm seeing everything I can see.
Right.
I can't figure out how to see. Maybe you just can't see those smaller baits unless they're doing a sudden movement right in front of the deal.
Because I saw
And the other thing that I'm not good at yet either is keeping, and I've got to get my transducer remounted. I'm about to do that hopefully this week where I get it mounted separately from the trolling motor. But I'm having a hard time keeping my bait on the screen even when I do see it.
Yeah.
I'm losing it on the screen. I just got to get better at it. I just got to spend more time with it.
24.
Can I still catch fish without the electronics? Well, I just started using them, so I wouldn't imagine I've lost all my all my abilities. I would not want to fish without electronics. Now, if you're talking about without electronics altogether, I feel like out of guys these days that make a living fishing, I'd probably be better than most if they took electronics away. Mm-hmm. Because I do fish a lot without, like I fish a lot of shallow water visual, just knowing the creek channels, knowing where the swings are, like a lot of knowledge, local knowledge, stuff like I fish more of that stuff than most guys do.
I find myself.
But I don't want to fish without the electronics, and I'm really excited to get, it's making me better.
I found myself with my last boat not needing my electronics as much because I fish a lot of the similar shallow stuff. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm with you on that, but my next boat will have it, and I will definitely spend hours upon hours not catching fish that I see and getting upset about it, trying to learn it.
Mr. Hitman23 says, I'm going to hate it on a separate pole. I don't think I am. The first live scope I used was Heath Taylor's, and it was actually quite a while ago, and he had it mounted separately, and that was the first way that I used it, and I really liked it because I could spot lock or do whatever I wanted to and still look where I wanted to look. That's the main reason. To me, you got to have it on a separate pole because on a windy day fishing offshore, you need to spot lock. And if you spot lock, well, then you can't control where you're looking with your active target. You need a way to control that while your boat's being held by spot lock. That's so important. So
Yeah, my buddy had his on a little tube, and you just took it and turned it back and forth.
Yeah, Joe said he's got something for me for the mount, so down there at Nautical Mile. Yeah. Nautical Mile is the best, guys. If you ever want to do it, if you ever have any type of service or maintenance or upgrades or anything like that you want to do to your boat, a guy named Joe down there at Nautical Mile Marine in Tyler, Texas. That's the best dude I've ever worked with in the industry when it comes to boat service. Mechanical stuff, like I said, adding stuff to it. Whatever you need done, he'll do it in the most professional, efficient manner. And they're fair on price about everything. They're straight up and down, and they get boats in and out of there quicker than anybody I've ever seen. And Joe is just the best, man. He's just the easiest guy to deal with, and he's very, very smart. He's the most knowledgeable boat mechanic I've ever been around. He's great. So he said he's got something figured out for me on mounting it separate. So I'm excited to see what he's got figured out. They have one that people have been using on Ultrexes.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that mount they were using to mount that transducer separate on Ultrex wouldn't fit on my Ghost.
Oh, I got you.
So he had to literally like come up with something, like create something to make it work. And he says he's got it figured out. So
10-4. I think all the viewers from tonight should go try the braid trick at home.
yeah, I think you guys should all take videos of yourself hooking yourself and post it. Let's flood the internet
With the braid trick. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hashtag LBAL.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can we do it? We haven't done liberal tears in a while. Can we end tonight with some liberal tears? Hands up in the comments. Who wants us to end it on a little liberal tears? I got something that's been sticking in my craw a little bit.
I have a feeling I know where you're going with this.
Do you?
But we're about to find out.
Yes. We got a yes.
We got a yes.
The folks have spoken.
All we need is one.
Yeah, we really didn't need that one. We were going to do it anyway. So, liberal tears. I'm sure everybody by now has heard Joe Biden say it's either vax it or mask it.
I got a tweet.
It's either mask it or vax it, right? Vax it or mask it. What do you say? It's either vax it or mask it.
So that is
They're
a
not
tweet
gonna
from
read that.
Joe
That's
Biden,
backwards.
so you read it.
The rule is now simple. Get vaccinated or wear a mask until you do. The choice is yours. So he actually said this. He was like, the saying that I heard, like the video clip was, he said, you either got to vax it or mask it. No, Joe, it's America. You can love it or leave it. We're free in this country, and you can kiss my redneck, Texas-loving Marine Corps natural ass if you think you're going to tell me what I'm going to wear in this country. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's property or well-being. You can kiss my ass, Biden. You will not force me to wear a mask, and you damn sure ain't going to force me or my family to stick anything inside of our body that God didn't put there. Go cry about that, liberals.
The tribe has spoken.
And I'm dead freaking serious if y'all can't tell. I swear, I will fight everybody if they're going to tell me to. I haven't worn a mask all year.
I didn't either.
All last year. You're not going to tell me what to wear. So you mean to tell me that like the flu case has dropped by 98%? Listen, one of my friends that everybody knows, one of my heroes, one of my idols, died from COVID-related complications. I'm not denying the disease. But I am denying that flu cases got reduced by 98% or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen. You guys are just lying and politicizing something for a movement, and you're trying to control us. Like, they're wanting us to not work. They're wanting us to, like, they're paying people so much money, they won't even go to work. They're forcing every control they can over us over nothing at the end of the day. Over nothing. If you want to stay home and protect yourself with a mask, I support your decision. 100% do it. If you want to get vaccinated, go get it. You're not going to force me to do that. No, this is America.
That's right.
Love it or leave it. It ain't got nothing to do with maxing and vaxing. You can respect the freedoms of the rest of the people in this country, or you can get your ass whipped. Keep pushing. It's going to freaking happen, and I'll be right there. I will start running, get my fat butt back in shape, and I will use the government-issued Marine Corps training that I have to the best of my ability to straighten this bullshit out. I'm freaking pissed off. This is bullshit that's happening in this country. This is why I don't talk about it anymore, because it makes me too mad. Makes me too mad. So, it's ridiculous.
Go cry about it, liberals.
Chris, do the thing you do.
Go cry about it, liberals. Let's go.